Hi, everyone, I'm back to that channel, sorry for the pause. So I'm going to start with the retelling of I Became Invincible for my sister, so enjoy. Please look at this ancient sarcophagus. This one, a precious specimen, was discovered in 2024. 3. Together with the sarcophagus, a large number of gold artifacts were found, therefore it is called the golden sarcophagus. Its lid and body are a single structure, so it was not open from the moment of discovery. She looks at the background of the maps even better than during ordinary times broadcasts, and what a beauty. But valuable exhibits are removed, it is forbidden, so you need to take your phone away. But she was filming Zhong Yuan. He is now a hot topic for discussion. He apologized for the false accusation, but she will still have to clean up. Zhong Yuan took his work very seriously and is responsible during his work only for workers. However, she did not want to fall behind him, so she asked what was inside. He answered that it is made of a special material that does not pass the rays of detectors for content analysis, therefore, according to the Program of Protection of Historical Heritage, they did not hide it. Therefore, no one knows what is inside. Suddenly there was a message that due to the planned fire drills, the museum will close in 10 minutes, so it is necessary to leave the territory of the museum as soon as possible. Zhong Yuan was not warned about this, he goes free because of the teachings. They all headed quickly to the vault. How suddenly the room began to shake like an earthquake. Zhong Yuan noticed a flock of crows in the sky, a bad omen. A gold-level portal will appear in the sky after 3 minutes and 40 seconds. During this time, the unit prepared for battle and elimination of the portal. Zhong Yuan, seeing him for the first time, he looked confused. Zhong Lan was in charge, Yu Zai was the deputy in the unit. Zhong Lan was always ahead because she was always motivated to destroy the monsters and get back to her brother. As it turned out, she was Zhong Yuan's sister. She should be at school now, and now we need to find a storage room. However, our streamer was already dead. Zhong Yuan wanted to call for help, but there was no connection from his cheap phone. So I wanted to use her phone. But alien spirits appeared on the screen, which really scared our hero. Meanwhile, a monster started to climb out of the portal. The monster looked very strong, surely this is a yellow-level portal? Due to false information, they quickly lost their partner. The situation was critical, 3 pillars were broken, there was going to be a simple hole at this place. Obviously, this is a catastrophically dangerous level. But Zhong Lan was strong, she was a genius because she managed to absorb the power of the 5 crystals. The units were surprised, they had never been in such a dangerous situation. Now they should be focused on work and not allow themselves to be drawn inward. However, it will not be possible to kill him so easily. It's like it will never end, it's just an illusion, you need to find the center. Meanwhile, the monster attacked Zhong Yuan. This is the end for him, he will not be able to evade. He was crushed by an artifact, a terrible death. He was at peace in his soul. However, he could hear the voices of his sister and her unit. He heard her voice, he couldn't believe it. His sister Zhong Lan studies in a private high school, she is one of the best in the class, she is gentle, well-mannered and a little clingy. That's why I thought that it listened to him, but why doesn't he see anything? Zhong Yuan wanted to glance at his sister with one eye. How suddenly he sees how his sister wants to kill him. But as it turned out, she attacked the monster. After some hour it started to materialize. Now the unit had more time, now they needed to protect Zhong Lan. Zhong Lan asked her to stop immediately. He was very worried about her. And for good reason, the monster broke through Zhong Lan's defense and inflicted critical damage. Zhong Yuan was in tears as his sister died before his eyes. She was so rarely at home under the guise of walks, was it all for his sake? Zhong Yuan knew that she had a good academic record, so he rarely took an interest in what was happening at her school. He asked for forgiveness from her and then asked her to stop. Finally she heard his voice. However, she could not fulfill his request because she cannot give up. If Zhong Lan retreats, the entire city will turn into dust and their home will be there as well. She needs to hold on a little longer. She gave all her strength for the last blow. However, the outcome of the battle is still uncertain as Zhong Yuan opened his eyes. He was still alive and was in the hospital. The heartbeat and blood pressure were at zero, probably this device was clearly broken. Suddenly, he heard Zhong Lan's voice behind the door. Zhong Yuan was very happy, this time he would definitely protect her. She was very happy because he survived by some miracle. But I wonder why Lan is so small? As it turned out, he was hit by a car. Zhong Yuan went back to this time where he was hit by a car. Great, now he can take care of Lan, now everything will be fine. The doctor said that the probability of brain death is very high, and now he has miraculously come to his senses and looks quite fresh. Zhong Yuan abruptly grabbed his sister and went to his room. He ordered Zhong Lan not to talk to him anymore because he saw Lin Dongliang set his eyes on Lan. That this strange man did not have time to tell her about everything in detail until college, she probably shouldn't get involved in all this. But is it possible to escape from danger without a fight? After all, when a threat arises, she simply won't be able to take care of herself, it's even scarier. Therefore, the best way to protect yourself is to fight. Zhong Yuan asked Lan to help him with the discharge, and he thanked Mr. Liang. But in reality, he wanted to say that he knew that Lin Donglian wanted to lure his sister to join his team, and the academy he was inviting to was the perfect place for such a thing. Lin Donglian, a hypocrite who disguises himself as a desire to benefit society, tries to kidnap a little girl and destroy her life. But there is no need to expose him as some kind of pervert because he is looking for talents that will save humanity. Zhong Lan can really save humanity. Therefore, Zhong Yuan was not against her joining, however, he has his own demands on Lin Dongliang. He wants to accompany her in the academy, regardless of what she will study and what tasks she will perform, he must be there. This is the only condition, let him think it over carefully. Lan obeys only his brother, so without his decision they will not see her in the academy. There will be no problems with the introduction, but how to enroll an ordinary person in the class of warriors? But he was not going to lose such a talent. Zhong Yuan's body was very cold and bruised, probably from the injections. But it was like a corpse stain. Having chosen to his apartment, Zhong Yuan prepared delicious dishes, his sister really liked it. However, he himself had no appetite, this started after the hospital. Zhong Lan was worried because he was still very pale, might it be better to go back to the hospital? But a decrease in appetite after a coma is a normal phenomenon, everything will be fine. But in reality, Zhong Yuan doesn't feel like eating at all. He has not felt hunger, thirst and fatigue for several days. You don't even need to sleep and take a shower. But the most terrible thing is that there is no heartbeat. It is also not possible to measure the body temperature, and corpse spots appeared on the body. All signs point to the fact that Zhong Yuan is indeed dead. The only reasonable explanation is that magic sent him 4 years back in time. However, one thing remains completely unclear: how did it happen? This world is full of secrets, the answers can be found in the academy. Fortunately, large spots do not appear too quickly, they will not be detected until, for example, they get to the hospital, it would scare Lan. Lin Dongliang suddenly called Zhong Yuan. He said to come with his sister to the academy after the vacation. There will be no special treatment for Zhong Yuan. Pairs cannot be missed, and if he scores less than 90 points in any subject, he will be kicked out. After the vacation, they went to this academy. Xie and Han approached them, he is responsible for admission to special classes, he is their mentor. He completely ignored Zhong Yuan because he was nothing special. And he offered to show his sister the dormitory and conduct a tour of the academy. But Zhong Yuan pushed him away and said that they would figure it all out themselves. Xie and Han definitely did not expect this. But the problems did not end, the military assembly will start at 1 p.m. and before that you need to finish the paperwork and gather in front of the sports ground. I wonder what makes this special class different. There were hooligans who destroyed the academy's property for the first time in a day. Those who will now have a nervous breakdown because they were very worried. And even students who looked older than 40 years. Suddenly, everyone was told to shut up from a distance. They were approached by the curator of first-year students, Liu Wen, who can be approached with any question, but only after they pass the military training test. Freshman Zhong Lan has been dismissed due to her young age, The others must go to the site of the military assembly. But the students did not like the conditions in the documents to be signed. Especially the point where it is described that military training is dangerous and the academy is not responsible for accidents. If you are not going to sign, you can contact the dean's office and withdraw. However, military training will give them a great opportunity to gain valuable experience and become much stronger and able to absorb crystals more successfully. Liu Wen's opinion convinced everyone that everyone started to sign the documents. Crystals are necessary to improve a warrior's abilities, but the absorption rate of most is too low. But Zhong Yuan has no reason to worry because he is dead and Lan Lan got an exemption from the exams. However, will he be able to absorb the crystals? Xie and Han seem to be interested in him because he is the only one who passed the first stage of the exam correctly. After signing the documents, all 40 students were placed on the bus. So I decided to give him some advice. If you feel in danger, you need to hide and call for help through the watch. You need to watch them so that they are not stolen. But then why did Zhong Lan's watch also turn off? Did she react wrongly in this situation? As it turned out, he liked her, so he turned off the watch. After their arrival, they were built near Mount Shiman. They all have the potential to absorb the energy of the ruins, but until they absorb the crystals, they are ordinary people. This training will remind them how fragile human life is. Now imagine that all this is a boundary with several reference energy points. It's like copying space based on the original area. As long as you are in this space, everything that happens in it will not affect the outside world. The government uses this technology to grow crystals. Their task is to survive for 3 days. They have supplies in their backpacks that they can use. They don't have to sneak inside, so they can hunt or gather. Their main task is to survive. If you find yourself in danger, you can use the watch to call for help. It not only tracks the location, but also emits high-frequency sound waves that can scare away some low-level aliens. After training, they entered the portal for 3 days. Finally, she reminded them that they are residents of China. In difficult times they should help each other and not fight among themselves. Let's look at these aliens. To fight in a team, the team should consist of no more than 6 people. Therefore, the formation of teams began. It was difficult for Zhong Yuan to find a team because he did not look strong. And he did not want to impose himself on other teams. However, someone is watching him, so he decided to run away. Breaking away from them, Zhong Yuan decided to study the animals in that forest. In such areas there is a snow snake. Its attack is average, but the quality of the crystal is very high. Also, she had various abilities. The last one was especially cool. I would hate for her to use it. In any case, to begin with, you need to find it. Approaching the goal, he noticed that the road was already frozen. That's why he became very attentive. That's why he noticed snakes in the trees. He took out a knife and attacked them. In response, they did not defend themselves. Are wild animals so obedient? But she doesn't actually see Zhong Yuan because they are reacting to the heat and he is dead. Therefore, he easily dealt with her and was able to absorb the crystal without problems. Now he has 4 new skills. Zhong Yuan was lucky because even the strongest person in China can only absorb 0.03% of successful crystal absorption. This probability is comparable to obtaining an SSR rank skill. With such a probability, it is almost impossible to succeed, so the groups just wanted to find a couple of crystals and return with them to the instructor. However, problems appeared in the group. These are hooligans. Since they broke their watches, they wanted to take theirs from weaker students. But they did not know that the curators were watching them. Therefore, Liu Wen wanted to go to help already. And Xie and Han didn't because he wanted a few idiots to die to make life difficult for the military judge. Meanwhile, Zhong Yuan had learned to freeze objects for 10 seconds. At a critical moment, it can help a lot. And also mastered the personal skill of special thermal perception. Snakes can feel everything within a radius of 10 meters. With these abilities, death immunity doesn't seem so attractive anymore. Freezing and super perception are much better than simple regeneration. Although the body temperature did not recover, the corpse spots disappeared. Besides, the need for glasses disappeared. With all these abilities, Zhong Yuan can handle a couple, just deal with the ones that fall from the trees to check something. He guessed, regeneration can be stopped if you cut off the snake's head. A snow snake crystal fell to him and he swallowed it. All of his basic snake skills have increased. It turns out that you can pump with the help of similar crystals, one crystal guarantees one increase. Meanwhile, the bullies were looking for the weakling Zhong Yuan. They began to worry that they might not find him. How unexpectedly they found a dead snake. They were surprised, but thought he had used his watch. But then they found 3 more snakes. They began to worry that Zhong Yuan might have already absorbed the crystal. But they could not give up their initiative. Meanwhile, Zhong Yuan came to the pack of those snakes. Through his ability, he noticed that he was surrounded by a group. The leader of those hooligans offered to surrender. Zhong Yuan was angry because he understood that they wanted to rob him. Therefore, he decided to simply say that he has nothing. However, no one believed him because there were many corpses on the ground. But he said that the live snakes were simply stunned. But even if he can't fool them, Zhong Yuan still wants to teach them so that they don't molest Lan Lan in the future. He showed them an empty backpack to make sure that there were no crystals because he had absorbed them. But he was called an idiot because no one from the special class would have done it without an instructor. Zhong Yuan didn't plan to fight because he wants to keep his body intact. The leader understood this, so he wanted to drive him away and take all the crystals for himself. Tai also wanted a watch with a knife. Zhong Yuan didn't mind, he threw his watch to the snakes. After the robbery, the hooligans offered him to return to a safe zone and took care of him. And Zhong Yuan advised them not to pursue him anymore. He stepped on the snake, now they attacked the hooligans in a pack. The leader was surprised, the watch was charged at 95%, that is, he did not use it. When they noticed the snakes, they asked for help. They shouldn't have taken Zhong Yuan's things. After walking some way, he met another group that was going to the snakes. Zhong Yuan told them that he had been robbed. And these hooligans have probably already dealt with all the monsters. Therefore, they need to hurry to kill at least someone. Huang Xiaoyan did not want to leave him alone, which made his acquaintance very angry. So he invited Zhong Yuan to join. However, he refused because he did not want to enter by force. However, the real reason is that he does not eat or drink, this will surely arouse suspicion. That's why I wanted to just go with them and pick up my backpack. Meanwhile, the snakes killed all the bullies. The students were scared because they did not expect to see so many snakes. That's why they ran from that place. Zhong Yuan was surprised, he didn't expect that this bunch of snakes would frighten them so much. Therefore, he himself decided to kill all of them. Absorbed all these crystals. His gender rose to the 2nd/3rd level. To improve the level from yellow to green, you need 10 crystals, apparently. Further improvement will take place according to the same principle. The probability of pumping the skill with 1 crystal was confirmed, he pumped the freeze to the green 3rd level, but the regeneration remained yellow, apparently some force does not allow him to improve it. Probably others think that a simple person cannot absorb the crystal. In ordinary people, after a failed absorption, the crystals simply evaporate. I wonder if everyone can see the same clues as Zhong Yuan. It should not give out the number of crystals absorbed by it. Meanwhile, one of the boys asks for help. However, they did not plan to go and help because they wanted to put on a show. After killing the students, Xian Han came to their corpses. With the help of the watch, he decided to find out the cause of their death. He noticed that 2 comrades were seized by snakes. They did not understand how to use the watch. Therefore, they decided to betray them. However, snakes were very fast. Therefore, Laver decided to kill his brother so that he could escape. And it all started with Zhong Yuan leading them directly to the snake's nest and indirectly killing them with the help of those very snakes. Xian Han wondered why they didn't attack Zhong Yuan himself. This Zhong Yuan has enough cunning, bravery and cold calculation. Meanwhile, Lan Lan was eating in the dining room. She enjoyed her first day at the academy. The campus is beautiful, the dormitory is huge, the teachers are very kind, the food in the dining room is very tasty. Lin Dongliang gave her a special phone that has a satellite function, she can use it to keep in touch no matter where she is. But she refused because Zhong Yuan said that it was unnecessary not to take anything from the hands of strangers. But Lin Dongliang told her to treat it as a loan. When she earned it, she would buy a new one and return the old one. Then she decided not to be modest. Xie and Han wondered where Zhong Yuan was now. But when he heard that he was at a military meeting, he was very upset because he was sure that he would not survive. If something happens to Zhong Yuan, his sister will be angry with Xie and Han for the rest of her life. The sister began to worry because she began to think that military training was dangerous. But Xie and Han reassured her, saying that he would be back soon and that he himself hoped that everything was fine with him. He called Feng Mo back to save the student Zhong Yuan. He was told that according to the latest information, he went to a safe zone and still has not returned. Feng Mo thanked him for the information and went on a search. Military training is going well, but what could suddenly happen? As long as the exercises are being observed, nothing bad should happen. If he goes this way, he will go straight to the snake's nest. But during the trip he noticed a competent cut snake and was surprised that there is a freshman who wields a knife. But then he noticed Zhong Yuan. He was very angry when he saw him brandishing a knife. If his knife could show emotions, he would cry. This knife was given to him by the academy. Can Feng Mo give him something else if he is so sorry? He gave him a new knife, but took all the loot for himself. He should be ashamed to take the booty of a person who has just started military training. But this is not Zhong Yuan's territory, and the first come, first served rules do not work here. As for who will get the snakes, it is clear to the one who is stronger. Feng Mo killed the snake with one hit, like a pro. His weapon is similar to the one Lan used in his past life. Is this official equipment? Feng Mo began to brag about his strength to the novice. An experienced warrior came here to fight monsters side by side with novice students. Something is clearly wrong here. Zhong Yuan froze Feng Mo, took the crystals from the snakes and his weapon and ran away. A few hours later, a battered and frozen Feng Mo arrived. The wounds are small, but the humiliation is colossal. Xie and Han healed him by returning the target to the state it was in 24 hours ago. Feng Mo then complained that one of the students had stolen his weapon. They could not detect the signal. Currently, the only student wearing a watch is Zhong Yuan. His watch was taken by Wang Men. Meanwhile, Wang Men did not meet a single live snake for the entire 2 days, and he also got lost. And everywhere there were repair signs. This was all planned by Feng Mo to get more crystals, and he needs Wang Men to roam the forest more. In any case, beginners like them don't need these crystals anyway. Zhong Yuan came next to the clearing. He saw that all the snakes had been killed, so he was saddened. But nearby he noticed a mountain that was not on the map, so he decided to try his luck there. Having climbed so far, he still found a couple of snakes. His skills were greatly improved, probably due to the fact that the mobs in this location are stronger. Due to the lack of hunger, thirst and fatigue, Zhong Yuan was a little lost in time. Maybe it's time to go back. But suddenly a big snake appeared behind him. It was very fast compared to normal snakes. But Zhong Yuan is a rookie, so he missed the shot. However, regeneration saved him. He was unsure of his abilities, but he wanted to try a new frosting. His new freeze froze the snake in an instant. He wasn't sure if it worked, so he decided to use the spell a few times. And then decided to finish him off with a weapon. Let the damage be low, but he has a good weapon, so everything should work out. After so many frosts, his strength almost runs out. Zhong Yuan's head was almost broken, but the crystal is still intact. It must be finished because the immunity may work. There is still half an hour before the end of the assembly. All returning students are requested to come to Liu Wen for registration. Wang Men was glad that he had survived and that this horror would soon end. However, Xie Yihan was very angry with him for his actions. Meanwhile, Zhong Yuan finally knocked out that monster's crystal. His characteristics have improved many times, and a new ability has also appeared, which increases all abilities by 1200%, duration 30 seconds, but after use, weakness occurs for 48 minutes. But absorbing such power is definitely worth it. Meanwhile, Wang Meng begged not to be killed and put on trial. But the military took him away in a car. Zhong Yuan hasn't come back yet, he must have a weapon. Se-han decided to wait for him and told her to go with the students to the academy. He really liked this student, so he asked Feng Mo not to retaliate when they met. But they did not expect that they would have to wait for him for 7 hours. But when Zhong Yuan met, he thought that he was the first to arrive because there was almost no one there. The condition of the weapons was very terrible. So Feng Mo attacked him with his shadow techniques so that he couldn't move. And hit him with his fist. The impact was so strong that he flew 10 meters away. I hope he didn't die. Zhong Yuan needs to find a way to avoid falling into his shadow. They began to accuse him of treason because his comrades were bitten by snakes because of him. They have all the evidence, so they wanted to tie him up. One of them was engaged in poaching during training, and the other did not say a word to him. They conspired and want to kill him. Zhong Yuan decided to shoot them with his pistol. But they can't break through their defenses like that. They brought Zhong Yuan out to see his abilities. Se-han decided to even threaten his sister that after her death, she would go to him. Zhong Yuan's patience was gone, now it was definitely over. He used the ability to increase the skill for 48 seconds. This is power, if it wasn't for Feng Mo's protection, there wouldn't be a single grain of them left. The ambient temperature is too low, everything freezes literally in seconds. But a lot of energy is needed for this skill. They were now defenseless, so they wouldn't be able to defend themselves against a gunshot. However, he was frozen and it was impossible to shoot. Looks like Zhong Yuan has run out of luck. Even if he dies, he will not allow Lan Lan to be hurt. Is it possible to increase the damage by as much as 448 with a boost? Anything above that is a kryptonite ability, and he just exceeded that power. They can't just let him go. However, Xie and Han lost consciousness. Feng Qin sent them to the hospital. The temperature dropped, the heartbeat and pressure disappeared, it seems that the technique destroyed him. Xie and Han burst into the ward, he was sure that he was alive. He is simply in a state of anabasis. Corpse stains on him. But Xie Han used his ability and said that he was bruised. Is it possible to say for sure whether he is alive? They decided to change his name in the list of young talents. Because he beat them twice, if his real name appears, then we won't face any problems. Xie and Han will then tell him what an idiotic option he chose. Has it been 2 days since he was still sent to the morgue? Xie and Han apologized for such adventures. And also on behalf of the student council inviting him to join them. Zhong Yuan was very angry, so he punched him. But he accepted the invitation. Meanwhile, Zhong Lan was absorbing the crystal, she was worried because it was the first time. She needs to take it in her hands and try to feel the energy contained within. The probability of successful absorption of the crystal is a bare statistic. In fact, it all depends on a person's talent and mental state. This world is full of monsters, only warriors can defeat them. The reason why Uncle Lin is so kind to them is because he is counting on her. And Jun Lan wants to protect the world, protect his brother. After the absorption procedure, she met her brother. Zhong Yuan's uniform changed because he joined the student union and became a member of the disciplinary committee. After the military training, there will be a 1-week vacation. He was probably not assigned to this class just like that. Lan Lan got in thanks to talent, and they definitely agreed on some conditions for Zhong Yuan. While he was gone, his sister told him that Uncle Lin had given her the fire cloud crystal. Now she is the strongest warrior and will protect him. Even in this life, Lan Lan could not escape the fate of the team leader, so all Zhong Yuan could do was become stronger to protect her. Zhong Lan was upset because he didn't even ask about her abilities. She got super speed and a heavenly start. Zhong Yuan didn't understand, so she decided to demonstrate on the statue. Lan Lan naturally became stronger, but it will not save her from responsibility for damage to public property. Of course, they forgave her everything, but they asked her not to break anything again. You don't even have to pay, isn't that a very generous gesture? Zhong Yuan performed well at the military meeting, so she offered to try absorbing the crystal. He refused because he did not need help. Let him not be interested in this, there is no need to make it so obvious. But then she looked at the form and remembered that Xie and Han were going to find a successor at the meeting. Is it really him? After class, Zhong Yuan went to the training ground. Feng Mo promised to teach him how to use a weapon. That's why they just started now. They soon exhaled while training with Zhong Yuan. But he himself was not tired, so they asked him on the second floor to bring snacks. Usually, the soldiers who enter the academy have good combat skills, they grasp everything in 10 minutes. And this guy couldn't handle swords, guns, or anything. After a few minutes, Zhong Yuan arrived with a soda. After which they came to life again. Therefore, Zhong Yuan forced them to continue their training. But they still didn't want to, so I gave them a couple of minutes and threw the can into the trash from a far distance. They were surprised, maybe this is his hidden talent. Therefore, they asked him to throw 2 more jars in a row. And he hit it. For Zhong Yuan, the best option is a hidden weapon. For such a weapon, you can use a plain badger crystal. He is fearless, good in battle, and his sense of smell is excellent. A blow of fury will help to pump abilities faster, and there will be no need for weapons. One day, Feng Mo encountered one of these in an operation. After activating the abilities, his combat power increased 10 times. In such a state, it is very difficult to deal with him. But where can he get it, because it is rare? Feng Mo can't teach him how to use a weapon, but he can solve this problem. He can be trusted with such things. He just wants to get his case over with so he can find the crystals for his brother. Namely, the snow snake crystal with immunity to death. This chapter concludes the story. Tomorrow I will shoot the second part. I hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.